What's up guys, it's Will back again, and today I'm here to review a film called Primer. But before we get into that, I just wanted to let you know that obviously I'm not on camera for this one. Trying something a little bit different for this review, so I'm going to try doing a voiceover, same type of format, but let me know how you guys like it and see if let me know if you want to see more of these in the future. And with that said, let's go ahead and jump into this review. So Primer was first requested to me by Joselina Agreto and written and directed by Shane Carruth, and it's a 2004 science fiction film. And there's two entrepreneurs accidentally discovering time travel. The two men eventually are experimenting and unknowingly create a means of time travel, and that makes their lives immensely more complex. As the two friends try to determine how to proceed with their new invention, things in their lives get a little bit crazy. I'll start by saying that Primer is not a film I knew existed prior to watching it, meaning I knew as little about it prior to my viewing experience as one could possibly know. And honestly, I feel like I understand as much about its plot as I did prior to me knowing it existed, which is virtually nothing at all. This may be the most confusing film I've ever watched, and I don't mean that in a good way. I'm not innately opposed to complex or experimental storytelling, if that atmosphere and the other surrounding parts of the film are quality enough to keep me engaged. The problem is that there's nothing to latch onto with this film. The characters are underdeveloped, seemingly purposely so. The plot is extremely confusing and difficult to follow, and the film really has virtually no visual identity. This is a problem because an experimental plot about the science of time travel can only carry you so far, and in my opinion, it's not very far if I have no clue what's happening. This is a bit of a tough film to review because clearly Shane Carruth, who oversaw virtually every aspect of this production, had a vision to make an experimental and complex film on an extremely tight budget. I admire a filmmaker bringing their vision to light, but in this case, I feel like this vision is so specific to one audience that virtually everyone outside of it won't find any value in this story. And I don't mean like sci-fi lovers as an audience, I mean like professional scientists who understand high-level scientific concepts to determine just what the hell these characters are talking about and doing. Either that or someone who's willing to put hours into studying theory behind this film. I had virtually no understanding of what these characters were doing, what their goals were, or anything else relevant about them that's crucial to the story. This is a problem because I felt very disengaged with the story from beginning to end pretty much. I also felt very disinterested in the way the film is shot and lit, the audio, and the performances. Making a film on a $7,000 budget is difficult, but nothing about this film's cinematography, lighting, audio, or performances is engaging. Scenes are often very underlit, causing the shots to look very grainy and full of noise. The audio mixing often makes it difficult to understand what the characters are saying, and the acting feels very flat. I mean, I really do hate being this negative about a film, especially a requested film, because I know how difficult it is to make one. I couldn't do it. But if I'm being honest with my criticism here, and I always value being honest here, I feel like this film really just doesn't deliver in so many ways. And I know there's actually a large number of people who really like it a lot, and I totally respect that. This is likely not going to be one of my more popular reviews, and I don't prefer to be negative at all, like I said, but to me, it's way more important to always be honest in how you critique things. There's nothing I dislike more than being disingenuous, so I always try to make sure that I'm speaking my mind honestly and openly, even when I know it'll be unpopular, like in this case. What I liked about Primer is that it does dare to be different. So while it didn't work for me, I respect that there's a vision, and that vision itself is clear in what it wants to do. There's not a lot of answers provided, and the viewer is expected to play an active role in the story, in that they have to try to determine what the events actually mean. I think that should generally be commended because I like when these types of films require you to think on your feet. I think this could have been executed more effectively, but I like the idea and concept. But overall, I really don't think there's too much more I need to say about this film. It didn't work for me, but I do understand the appeal of it. As for the pros cons, for the pros, I like that the film has a vision and an interesting concept. As for the cons, I found the story to be convoluted. The film often lacks a visual identity. It has poor characters and acting, and the audio quality was poor. I'm going to give Primer a 3 out of 10 and say it's a pass for me. I honestly don't think this one has much appeal to most types of viewers. I think it might work for a specific audience, but not for many others outside of that. So with that said, have you guys seen Primer? What did you think of it? And if not, let me know whether you might check it out or not. I'm sure there's some, out there in the audience that are going to hate me for my review, but like I said, that's just my honest take on the film. I don't rule out the value of it, but it just wasn't for me, I think. Either way, this is WillFoxification signing off. See you in the next review.